Hey y'all, so today we're gonna be watching Synnibear03's new apology video, and I only watched 36 seconds of this, and I'm like, okay, I need to make a video on this, cause this is fucking getting ridiculous. So we're gonna play the first bit, and I'll play the first 36 seconds.
Nothing in the past week has made sense.
Oh, I wonder why. Probably because you're a fucking groomer. Sorry, this is barely even started and we're only 12 seconds in.
I was completely convinced that I was a predator and a groomer and that I
'Cause you
needed
are.
intervention. I'm realizing I might not even have a clear understanding of what grooming is.
Bruh.
I believed I groomed a child because Jack told me I did.
'Cause you did.
I believed him because I trusted him. But Jack doesn't know what he's talking about. I made my confession under duress. I fully believed I was a groomer because Jack told me.
No, it's 'cause you are.
But I don't believe that anymore.
No,
I am not a groomer. I did not groom Enno.
What? This is crazy. The fucking blaming is crazy, bro.
Honestly feels like everyone has their own definition of what grooming is, which is so fucking dangerous. But smart people define child grooming as the act of deliberately establishing a relationship with a child to prepare them for abuse. As an action in and of itself, grooming does not have criminal penalties, but facilitation of a criminal sexual act is considered a crime. Many of you likely saw my video where I stated I groomed a minor, and I saw quite a few people point out that it's very strange. The main reason I saw was, people don't usually confess to things like this. They try-
Oh my fucking god, bro. It's because these are people actually just defending her. She does not deserve to be defended, and anyone who is actually defending her, I hate you. Like, I genuinely hate you.
To fight back against these things. But none of you questioned if what I was saying actually made sense. I was coerced and guilted into a false confession by someone I loved and took care of. Someone I worked my ass off to provide a moderately comfortable lifestyle. Not only for them, but for the
He doesn't feel safe with you. You made a comic about him, if you know. If you know, you know what the comic is.
Cats they begged me to adopt. One of which he fucking stole from my apartment.
Yeah, because who the fuck knows what you're gonna do with those cats, bro?
Conversations with Enno, while inappropriate and irresponsible, trust me, you will never fucking catch me trying to act like this was an okay thing to do.
Okay, but the thing is, Enno is the minor, okay? The minor is uncomfortable with you because you talked about sexual things with them. How do I have to spell this out? How hard is this, honestly? This is ridiculous.
Flirting with Enno. My messages have been misinterpreted in the most bad faith and malicious manner possible.
They are!
Sit alone with my thoughts for the first time in a really long time. I've been able to reflect on everything. And I've realized that I was very misled by Birdie on many things regarding psychology and psychology-related subjects.
What?
I looked to Birdie for any and all information on these subjects because it was their, quote, special interest.
Okay, well... Oh my god, bro. 1, do your own fucking research. Is it seriously that hard? And 2, you're still a groomer. You're coming up with these random excuses that don't mean anything. Bro.
And I figured he'd at least know more than the average dumbass. But I've started to realize that the answers he gave me on mental health subjects depended almost entirely on what was most convenient for Birdie.
Oh
my
god,
Here are some actual qualifiers for what constitutes as grooming, as is listed by a simple Google search. Isolation of the child. Building the child's trust.
You did build their trust.
Appropriate communication.
Inappropriate communication! Bro, that's literally the main one! That's what you did! Oh my god, bro, this is driving me nuts.
Which includes asking for secrets to be kept, and using sexual language that the child may not understand.
Sexual language, huh? Oh, you're calling yourself out, arsehole.
And educating the child on the subject. Buying gifts. Giving the child special attention. Singling out the child to make them feel more mature, special, or different from other children. Showing particular interest in the child. Victim selection. and substance misuse. I did not isolate Enno. Enno was actually already isolated when they first met me.
Oh, no, bro, that's crazy. It does not, no, you literally picked out someone who's fucking isolated. Oh my god, this is driving me nuts. Oh my god. You're just giving us more evidence, bro.
That they only ever speak to like 3 people, that being Sophia the Neko, me, and another person I don't know. I never got jealous if they hung out with other people instead of me. I never told them who they could and could not hang out with. I didn't want to control who they were hanging out with.
Okay, but you still groomed them. Just because you didn't do those specific things that are also a part of grooming doesn't mean you didn't groom them.
I wouldn't get upset if they didn't talk to me. The only thing I can think of that probably looked like I did is if I said something in their DMs and they took forever to respond, I would get anxious and think that I upset them somehow.
Oh my fucking... Okay. What is this? Where'd you go? Bro, they literally responded to you. Bro, this is... They responded to you like an hour later. Bro, this is... Oh my god.
Ow. I do that to everyone, though. I'm just really anxious. I don't like the idea of bothering people. Building the child's trust.
Okay, what does that have to do?
I don't think I was ever even interested in building their trust.
You fucking did, though! It doesn't matter if you were interested or not, you still did! Oh my god, we're only 3 minutes in. I'm gonna have to make a part 2. This is driving me nuts.
The only thing I was ever really concerned about was making them upset or uncomfortable. In fact, I already...
Bro, you talk about sexual stuff with them! What are you on about? I tried to make sure they weren't uncomfortable. Bro, you literally talked about sex with a minor and then blamed it on your quote-unquote hypersexuality. Oh my god.
It seemed like they just automatically trusted me with a lot.
Oh
really
my god, no.
On that front. Even then, if...
Bro, you still gained a child's trust. And that's... You need to be very careful with that, especially if you're a big content creator and an adult.
It was just never on the forefront of my mind. Inappropriate communication. The examples given are asking for secrets to be kept, using sexual language...
No, don't you even. Don't you even. I reckon that classifies under it all. You can't just point out those things. Okay? Nah, bro.
May not understand and educating the child on the subject. I will not deny that my conversations were inappropriate and I shouldn't have been having them.
No shit, you fucking groomed them! Oh my god.
To begin with. The only instance of me asking them to keep something a secret would be me saying to them, please don't tell the public I'm depraved.
Bro. That is, oh my god, she's fucking literally exposing herself more. This is crazy. Oh my god.
The secret's kind of just out now, I don't care anymore. I never intended to keep our relationship a secret. That was never even something I was intending to hide. It was also never my intention to educate Enno on any particular, sex.
Okay, but you still did 2 things that are part of grooming. You can't just say, oh yeah, all those line up. Oh, I only did 2 of those, so it's fine. I didn't groom them. Are you fucking serious, dude?
Shit, I don't know. Now that I think about it, majority of the inappropriate conversations we had revolved around sadomasochism and,
Oh! Oh my fucking... You talked about that with a minor. I'll be honest. Oh my god, bro, that's crazy.
Sadistic fantasies, not really sex. Sex was definitely...
What? That's even worse. It's only about sadism and masochism. That doesn't mean it's about sex. I'm actually going to lose my mind. Oh my fucking... How the fuck did 704 people like this? Also, I think the fact that this has 35,000 views, at the time I'm recording this, and there's only 700 people that... Oh my god, that really does show their hate for you, bro. You're screwed, bro.
They brought up, but it was never my intention to educate Enno about it.
Sure.
Buying gifts or giving gifts. Didn't do that. Enno actually...
Okay, just because you didn't do that doesn't mean you're still not a groomer. Oh my god, is this so... hard for your stupid dumb brain to understand. Oh my god.
Like a shit ton of gifts for me, but I don't think I've ever made anything in return, which saying out loud makes me feel kind of shitty. But no, I never made any gifts for Enno. Now, I did ask them to make things for me a lot. The most inappropriate...
Huh! That's...
thing I think I've asked was for, like, a comic. I'm not gonna pretend I'm justified for doing that. No, I think it was inappropriate.
No
Fucking
shit!
weird and cringy. But everything else I can think of was mostly just ship art. Giving the child special attention.
Ship art. As long as there's no porn in there. But, oh, I don't know.
Examples given are singling out the child to make them feel more mature, special, or different from other children. The fact that I was talking to Enno at all could be seen as me giving them special attention.
No shit!
But not once did I ever tell them that I thought they were more mature, special, or different. The only example I can think of is toward the beginning of our conversations when I told them they were funny. But I wasn't trying to make them feel like they were different from other kids.
That's...
showing particular interest in the child. I wasn't particularly interested in Enno. In fact, I had 2 other friends who I was talking to like this, and they knew that. Cough, Kenny, cough, brother, bitch ass. Victim selection. I did not select them. In fact, they talked to me first. Substance misuse. Didn't do that. Now, there's some other things that we really need to discuss when we're talking about this whole grooming situation. So firstly, I am a hetero woman. I am attracted to men, as you can see from these fucking cringy-ass conversations that I...
Yeah, sure. My chats with Enno, the 14-year-old, will be in the You're literally going to give us... Oh my god, that's crazy. She's going to give us more evidence, guys. Let's go! Let's go, guys! Woohoo!
Had with Enno. I did not want to date Enno. I never considered...
Okay, just because you didn't want to date them doesn't mean you didn't fucking groom them. Oh my god, bro.
As an option. I did not reach out to Enno, and it took Enno 3 months of persistently pestering, prying, and giving me gifts before I finally...
Okay, but they're the minor. This is a lot different. You're an adult and should be fucking responsible. Yeah, just be like, oh, hey, thank you for making this art for me. I really like it. But I still want to keep our interactions to a bare minimum because I'm an adult and you're a minor. Is it that fucking hard?
Gave in and spoke to them. From the start, I remained very reserved and kept Enno beyond arm's length. I wasn't super interested in talking to them until they sent me an image of me laying in bed, and I made a joke about it being inaccurate because Boy wasn't there. Once Enno started indulging...
Oh yeah, you also have a fucking weird fixation on this 17-year-old kid's OC.
My very strong autistic infatuation with Boy.
Oh my god, don't you bring being autistic into this. I'm fucking autistic. Don't do this, bro. Don't do this. Don't do it. Just don't go into it. My fucking god.
That's when I started talking a lot more. And as we kept talking, I felt a lot more comfortable sharing certain things about the character that I liked, including personal fantasies. In hindsight...
Why would you talk to a minor about that, though? What? Don't you have other adults that you can talk to about that? Or make a Discord server and just type it in there. That's what I do. Oh my god, dude. Make a Discord server with no one else in there.
I really should have filtered myself when talking to this person.
No shit!
I definitely should have practiced some restraint. I'm not proud of this. But it was never my intention to desensitize them or harm Enno. That was never on my mind.
I can't tell if she's telling the truth right now. Because if she was, she wouldn't have done this for months. Okay? She wouldn't have done this for so fucking long. If it was once, I guess I probably could believe that. It's still fucked up. But this went on for fucking months. I don't believe this.
imagine that's fairly obvious if the DMs are actually read with more than one brain cell activated. I've been speaking to some individuals.
Oh, are you saying that the people, like, most of us that think you're groomers, assuming most of the people who actually watch this video, are you calling us, you're saying we have one brain cell? That's not gonna go well, bro.
Who are very critical of me, but they've been fair. They disagreed with the idea
No
that this was grooming because one of them, who goes by Kumo, thought something was off about the evidence that was used to back up the claim. Kumo has been very critical of child predators and people who enact performative vigilante justice online for validation or personal gain. It was explained to me that my understanding of grooming was clearly warped, and these conversations just sounded like, I'm quoting Kumo, locker room girl talk. I myself...
What the actual fuck? No, that's not okay. That is just, oh my god, oh my god, that is terrible. Whoever, the person who told you that, oh my god, that is a minor and an adult talking about BDSM to a 14-year-old and someone who's, oh my, that's not girl locker room talk. What? This is disgusting.
I've never been very social. I would even call myself socially inept.
Okay, literally nobody cares. I do not care if you're socially inept.
I'm a bit of a retard, so I never considered...
Are you fucking serious? Oh, what a lot of this is sounding like to me is like, oh, I'm autistic, feel bad for me, where?
That there was an existing dynamic that sounded similar to my conversations. This was two girls talking about Jeremiah down the block and how hot he is. Once again...
Ew, can you please fucking not? This is so much different, because this is a child. And you're an adult. Is this so hard for them to understand? Can they not take any wrongdoing? Oh my god, bro, this is...
I feel the need to make this painfully clear that I am not excusing how I talk to Enno.
You really sound like you are.
It was inappropriate, it was irresponsible, it was negligent, and I shouldn't have done it. I regret it a lot. I should have made the responsible choice and stopped these conversations before they even happened.
Oh yeah, because this went on for months. Like, literally, you made a video defending Jack, and that was still happening while that video was made. This is ridiculous.
But I know for a fact that this was not grooming. None of the previous qualifiers can be found in my DMs with Enno. Because...
What? What do you mean? That literally was! Oh my god, bro. This is driving me insane.
Did not groom Enno. My therapist doesn't even think I groomed Enno. And the obvious rebuttal to that could be, well, we don't know what Synni was saying to the therapist. What reason do I even have to lie at this point? I can't...
Okay, well, you do know that therapists can sometimes, I'm being honest, they can sometimes be biased. Oh, god, this is just ridiculous. How do we know she's not lying about this anyway? I don't fucking... Jesus, bro.
Into their office specifically saying, I believed I groomed a child. And then after telling them all the details, they don't think that what I did was actually grooming. Jack has decided to ride the wave of this controversy to accuse me of sexual assault. But I think anyone listening to what Jack said should be able to recognize that what actually happened is he retracted his consent long after what happened. Which is not only disheartening, but I believe
Okay, but you do know that he expressed with you that he was uncomfortable in the moment and he wasn't sure how to bring it up with you. I don't believe that Synni purposefully tried to sexually assault Jack. No. I believe that things should have been more communicated between the both of them. And that's kind of none of everyone else's business, in my opinion.
Slander. As someone who has been sexually abused in the past...
Okay, oh my god, dude. Call the ambulance! Where? My god.
Child. The fact that he's so comfortable weaponizing our consensual touching not only makes me unholy levels of pissed off, but also makes me feel extremely heartbroken. Jack is someone I trusted and cared for and loved unconditionally for nearly a year, and he's willing to lie and deceive with clear intentions of ruining my life.
I don't really think so. Dude. Are you serious? Okay, let's listen more, and then I'll think about what I should say.
I've been labeled a child predator. I've been framed as a sexual deviant, described and implied to be a...
Well, you kinda are a sexual deviant, because you fucking told a child to basically keep a secret, and to not tell people that you are a sexual deviant, so... You know, you kinda labeled yourself there.
Violent degenerate, and an aggressive rapist. Jack and I had...
Okay, I don't know who said they're an aggressive rapist. I don't think that's... that one's a bit out of pocket, I will be honest. Jesus.
Together for about 9 months, and in that time we established a friendship with boundaries still being discovered. I deliberately asked Jack if the things I was doing were okay, and Jack said they were. I was not under the impression that Jack was not comfortable or even unhappy with these...
Okay, but he also did tell you that he wasn't sure on if this was okay touching between friends. And you need to realize that. Oh my god, dude.
The acts of poking and squishing. Had Jack communicated to me as such, I would have stopped and apologized profusely. Given the nature of our friendship and the level of intimacy we shared, I half-jokingly asked Jack to sit on my face while clothed, to which he politely declined, and I respected.
Which, also, that's your fetish. Oh my god, bro.
Their answer. This was out of morbid curiosity, and honestly, that shit was gay as fuck. I'm just a girl. Het guys have similar...
What do you mean that's gay as fuck? He's literally a man. Whatever, this is fucking stupid.
Humors and dynamics to my understanding. I've seen what the homies get up to, and it's all in good fun to call them gay and tease about it, but being curious isn't indicative of someone's orientation and preference. TLDR, Jack has grossly misinterpreted our relationship in a manner that really fucking hurts, dude.
Jack's
GoFundMe is a scam and it's slanderous. Jack's selling point on the GoFundMe that raised over $10,000 in like 3 days was that he didn't feel safe living with me anymore.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. You made a fucking rape comic of him. Oh my god. I don't blame him for wanting to move out. I don't blame him for feeling uncomfortable. You're saying that this is a scam when it's clearly not. If he's uncomfortable, he's allowed to fucking move. Seems like she just doesn't want him to leave.
As if I'm some sort of evil, deranged, violent rapist that was gonna groom Jack next for saying awful shit about me in the next room. Ironic, considering I was a fucking sobbing mess on the couch, laying in the fetal position, breaking down over the awful shit that he said to me. Jack was not financially independent, but neither am I. I occasionally had to rely on Jack's social security to make ends meet and maintain our lifestyle and security. Jack made a little under $1,000 each month from his benefits. Jack was unemployed and hardly attempted to make any income through commissions. For the 9 months we stayed together, I would say that
also, probably because of his mental health issues, which, I mean, I don't blame him. I have really bad mental health issues. It's just a lot different for everyone else. It's a lot different for different people with mental health issues.
At that time, I was paying rent in full. We moved in November, and Jack hadn't considered splitting rent until February. I had to beg Jack to pay only a third of rent with their social security, and he tried to refuse. That would be a total of a little under $300 a month out of the money that...
I will be honest, that's a bit of a, shitty move from Jack, but we're just gonna continue. We're gonna outweigh, because from what I'm seeing, Jack is still mainly in the right. I reckon that is still a little bit of a shitty thing to do, just to refuse paying rent. But That is nowhere near grooming a child. Okay? Nowhere on the same level.
Meant to go toward things like rent. I don't think Jack even understands what that money was granted to him for. For the final 2 to 3 months that Jack was staying here, Jack was no longer receiving Social Security due to him not attending a court hearing. Meaning Jack stayed in my apartment rent-free in the time that he had the audacity to pull this shit. I paid for the food. Jack being autistic requires some pricey and specialty items to be constantly in stock. So this was more than just feeding 2 people and 2 cats. Jack's only bill, aside from the third of rent, was the internet, which checked out to be $45 a month. Jack's Social Security is what secured this apartment. Jack has asked their viewers, in light of grooming allegations of a 14-year-old, for their money to enable them to ditch their living situation and leave me to handle all the loss. Stealing one of the pets that I own and pay the medical bills for, that I fed and took care of. To make matters worse, Jack has tried to ruin my life in many different avenues. Jack has isolated me from my only real-life friends and socially engineered my coworkers against me. Jack has made a public spectacle about this and ruined my reputation, to the point that
Maybe because you kinda did it yourself. You literally did it yourself. And he just brought it to light. Bro, is it... Oh, God, dude.
Family heard about it. My fucking brother heard about this situation at school. Jack has gone on Twitter and wished me more than death. I will go more in depth on that later. But he's publicly celebrating my downfall and interacting with people who make art depicting violent and cruel acts on me. And he and everyone else feels justified doing this shit because pedos are bad.
Yeah, they are.
The fact that he feels so comfortable calling me a pedophile when he knows what I've been through and he knows how I respond to those topics is driving me up a fucking wall. He should know damn well that I'm not a pedo. He is way too flippant using this life-ruining word. It's disgusting. I have learned in light of this situation that I have been surrounded by the most deluded and dishonest lunatics I've ever met. A group of people that are part of a wider issue, where you can say or do the most heinous acts to someone, so long as you call them a bad person beforehand. Whether they are or not seems to be debated after the fact. My confession was false, and the people who reacted thought twice and clearly wanted it to be true. They remarked that something didn't seem right, but didn't bother to question the legitimacy of the allegations and the confession. If I pulled the DM logs of Turkey Tom when he was 18 to 19, I have to wonder what I could find. If I did the same to Deadwing Dork, Chud Logic, Soph the Neko, I have to wonder. If we dug through every interaction you've ever had online, would there suddenly be more incentive to be nuanced and open-minded? Because those aren't even the things I asked for. I'm being represented in terribly bad faith.
So, you're just saying that other YouTubers are groomers now? I don't know what she's trying to get at. I don't... Bro, this is making me crazy. I don't believe that Synni is a pedophile. I'll just say it. I believe she is a predator, though, and a groomer. Because I don't believe she's interested in children.
And I'd be surprised if anyone listed really believes they've never said or done anything that could be used against them in this manner. For those plugging their ears, I have to wonder how you would fare if you were the target.
Right,
As long as we're all still here, I would like to talk about Jack's video that he made about me. He's the one who brought the situation to the public. He made a lot of points in his video, and I have a lot to say about them. I'm going to be going more in depth on the things that Jack complained about in his video. I'd like to just get started. Jack's behavior throughout this situation has been really fucking strange, and I have to question what his motivation was, both in this situation and honestly in our friendship. I'm not sure why he felt like he needed $10,000 from a GoFundMe just to get away from me.
To pay for fucking rent, food, Wi-Fi, cat's food. Bro, and he needs it to last for a while until he can get his funding back. Oh my fucking god, bro. Is that really that hard to understand? Fuck me.
That's a shit ton of money. Maybe it's for a fresh start, but it feels a bit exploitative. It feels strange to make a video educating people about someone you believe to be a predator and then ask for a shit ton of money that isn't even meant to help the victim.
Whoa, it's still... He kind of fucking was a victim of you. You made a comic of him. Oh my god. The freaking amount of, like, delusion she's in right now is insane, bro.
I feel like he could have asked for enough to buy a plane ticket and a few months of food. Even then, I'm thinking about how we spent 4 days in Seattle for vacation, and Jack's family was exceptionally generous. His aunt let us sleep on her couch for those 4 days, and his grandparents each gave us hundreds of dollars just to shop in Seattle, as well as paying for our plane tickets to and from
Yes, he literally did talk about that. We already know about this. Shut up.
Seattle. But I heard the aunt suggesting Jack ask his papa for expensive gifts because he's likely to buy them for him. If Jack needed money, I feel like he could ask his grandparents for help. Plus, his aunt went to fucking law school. She could probably help him find affordable housing under the guise that Jack is too disabled to work. I feel like his family would be more than likely to help him since Jack keeps framing the situation as an emergency. He needs to get away from Synnibear03 right now! I've also seen plenty of people questioning the use of...
Okay, well, it kind of is an emergency for you to get away from him. For him to get away from you. Oh my god, bro.
Panty and stocking designs on his GoFundMe page. I actually asked him that too, because he showed me the page when he made it. I asked why he was using a picture of the two of us, and his explanation was that he just threw it all together. I didn't push any further.
Yeah, I don't blame him. He was kind of probably very panicked about the situation and then just put it all together randomly.
A lot of people also pointing out that it was weird to include the panty and stocking animation. I kind of agree. It's strange that in the...
I did also think it was a little bit weird, but hey, it's nothing to really press about.
Video where you're warning everyone about Synnibear03, the predator, the freak. I'm not a freak, unlike Synni. You include an animation of me dancing on a stripper pole and taking off my panties. Jack claims I
Well, yeah, because it was an animation he didn't want to go to waste. I don't blame him for that. Animation takes a very long time.
Assaulted him, which is just not fucking true. In his video, he shows a screenshot of me losing my mind over the fact that he was saying I assaulted him.
Mm-hmm.
This, plus the fact that Jack admits to consenting to me touching him, should have tipped y'all off that he was talking out of his ass. Touching back on, Synni's, sexual assault towards me, I'd like to preface this by saying this is gonna get kind of graphic, so I'm sorry. On a daily basis, she, makes comments about my ass, how big and squishy it is, and how she wants a boyfriend with an ass like mine, and she would constantly slap it and grab it. And I'm gonna be honest, I consented to this because I've never had an IRL friend before, and I didn't know what kind of touching was and wasn't okay. And, I also consented to her,
Oh, yeah, because he didn't know what kind of touching was and wasn't okay. Just fucking take responsibility for your own actions. And admit you fucked up with that. And you should have asked him if he was comfortable with that.
Touching my boobs. And, I guess, the stuff is fine because I consented to it, but there's stuff that she did that I didn't consent to. She would often poke me, in the ass or, on my crotch and, make jokes about fingering me and,
Exactly. He didn't Oh my god. I need water. He didn't consent to you touching his crotch, poking his ass. Oh my god, bro, this is driving me nuts.
I told her not to do this, and I said no multiple times, and I would even, scream if she did it, but she did it even as recently as, a few nights ago, I think. I still have my doubts about, my feelings about this, because, with that,
I'm pretty sure screaming and saying no should be an indication. But Synni sees no as yes. Just, bro.
They know, and I confronted Synni about this, and she said she thought I was joking when I said no, which I have a recording of, but...
Bro, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
I'll show the recording later. Yes, I did make a lot of comments about Jack's ass and how big and squishy it is. I've smacked him on the ass, I've grabbed his ass, I've even used his ass as a pillow. I've played with his breasts, and I've always asked if what I was doing bothered him or made him uncomfortable, and he's always said he doesn't mind. He doesn't care. It's fine. He says he didn't consent to me poking him in the ass or in the crotch, which I have to say, I don't know if he ever made it explicitly clear that he didn't like me poking him in the ass, and I do genuinely feel bad if I was making him uncomfortable by doing that.
Okay, well, then, You still sexually assaulted him! Oh my god. This is nuts.
Say in the recording he took of me, by the way, I had no fucking idea I was being recorded. I tell him I thought he was joking when he told me no. There's a lot of things that I do to Jack expecting a specific reaction because he makes funny noises. I would often grab his face and squish it in my hand and he'd make a murr sound, and I thought it was funny. I would hold his nose closed, and when I let go he would inhale really hard. Funny. I'd pinch his double chin and he'd say, "My gizzard." Funny. When I poked him in...
I'm sorry. I can't take that seriously. I can't. But he never brought that up in the video. Oh my god. He never brought that up in his video about you. About being touched in those places. He only talked about the sexual areas, which he didn't know on if he was comfortable with or not.
Yes, he would scream. Not a guttural scream, like it would be easy for me to assume that he was scared or upset. It was like a silly scream, like, "Ah! Ah!" Last time I remember doing this, though, he didn't react at all. He was playing with Swerp on the cat tree, and I poked him in the ass, and he didn't react. He just kept playing with the cat. He didn't even flinch. How am I supposed to know that you don't like what I'm doing if you don't tell me? If you told me before, then it wasn't really clear. You gotta be explicit with me. I'm autistic.
Oh my god. How was I supposed to know? I'm autistic! Oh. Bro, this is... I'm pretty sure him not reacting may be a sign that you shouldn't do it. Right? I'm autistic. And I remember I did slap my friend's ass. I didn't do it again because I saw he really didn't like it. I did not touch him again. I have not touched any of my friends like that again because I now know it's wrong. You should have known from the first time you did it, any of this shit, that if what he responded with was wrong. Again.
I'm stupid.
Yes, you are. I will say that with the noises and stuff, I'm going to just say the poking and shit, from what he described, you shouldn't have kept doing that. If he's barely giving a response to you doing that, you shouldn't be doing it.
He says I poked him in the crotch, and I have 2 memories of doing this, and both
Okay, you still fucking did.
times I immediately apologized afterwards.
Bro.
I poked him in the gents on accident because I was trying to poke him in the ass, and I went too low, and he told me, "You poked me in the veg." And I apologized profusely and stressed that I didn't mean to. I poked him in the pubic area once and then immediately asked if it was okay to do that, and to be frank, I don't actually have a clear memory of his response. I don't know why. This isn't something I do regularly. That's why
That's really weird. To ask your friend if you can touch their pubic area. That's really weird. Okay, that's just really... I don't do any of this shit with my friends. I don't know anyone who does this shit with their friends. This is so weird.
I had to question if I actually did that in the recording.
She would often poke me, like, in the ass or, like, on my crotch and, like, make jokes about fingering me and, like...
Sometimes when I poked him in the ass, I would say, "Star finger," because I thought it was funny. He brings up the fact that I asked him to sit on my face. I do understand if he's upset that I would ask him to do this. It's a sexual situation in nature, and he declined for that reason. If Jack doesn't like that I was willing to ask him to do that, he has every right to be upset. What he doesn't have the right to do is revoke his consent of me touching him and claiming I sexually assaulted him just because he doesn't like me anymore. That's pussy shit.
And I'm gonna be honest, I consented to this because I've never had an IRL friend before, and I didn't know what kind of touching was and wasn't.
Okay, he didn't know what touching was and wasn't okay. You're completely skipping over that bit.
Okay.
My brother in Christ, you are an adult. You choose what touching is okay. There is no rule book. Jack admits...
Okay, also, you do know he's also autistic as well. And also, he just said he's never had an IRL friend before. He's also come from a very bad home life and probably doesn't understand a lot of the areas of consent. Like, Oh my god, dude.
Video to not looking over the evidence, which just irks me, dude. Your best friend is being accused of a bunch of shit, and you can't be bothered to look over any of it. Or even fucking get someone else to look over it for you. The original Addressing Synnibear03 document is a fucking joke. I'll get to it when I get to it. But the information he got from me directly about the doc was me ranting about some of the dumbass points I saw while I skimmed through it while I was at work. There are some things that are definitely worth criticizing me for, and I'll get to those, but most of it was so unbelievably stupid.
Okay, and you still, like... Oh my god. The things that you're criticized for are the things that mainly people are focusing on. And what, like, should be focused on, and what you need to take accountability for doing with those, specific things. Not just going and, like, you can point out flaws with the document, but you also need to, like, accept your fate now. You can't just come back from this anymore. And nobody really likes you. You can see these comments are just this. They're not on your side. 704 people are on your side. That's how many you've won over in 35,000. That is pathetic.
If you started to doubt me, why not have someone else relay the information to you at least? Like, what about Laurel? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I should be responsible for relaying this information to you, especially when I was at fucking work when this was happening. You gotta find this shit out on your own.
No, I have not been mooching off of Synni. I have actually, like, I've helped pay rent every month. I've helped pay for groceries. I've given Synni money for gas. I've paid for a lot of her things. Like, I have not been mooching off of her, but...
I was not mooching off of Synni is a wild statement considering how much I was doing for you. We were living together for almost half a year, and I would say half that time you were staying in my apartment rent-free.
Okay, again, also I feel like this also needs to be addressed between the two of them, and until I see some actual, like, proof of this happening, of just, like, a screenshot or something, like Synni asking, hey yo, can you pay rent for me? And he says no, I'm not gonna believe her.
Last 2 months we lived together, I was paying the rent in full, and I had to fucking plead.
Okay, here we go. I don't know, it just makes me nervous losing a bunch of money at once as soon as I get paid. How do you think I feel? My money disappears at the very beginning of each month. Well, I don't want us both to lose our money. Please don't get mad at me if you are. I can't read tone text. I'm not mad. I'm kind of frazzled. I got no razzle-dazzle. The fuck does that mean? I think you should contribute to the rent. I don't know, we'll see. I'm really nervous. Jack, I really don't want to sound mean or imposing. You know I love you, and I love flirting. Oh, sorry, I thought that said flirting with you. Living with you. You're my favorite person in the world. It's literally the least you can do. I work 35 hours, 5 days a week. I do dishes and laundry, and you can see how much of a toll my new lifestyle is taking on me. I literally considered working more hours before I even thought about asking for your help. I know you're mentally ill, and your heart makes it hard for you to do much. And I do not hold that against you. I want to be as accommodating as I possibly can be so you can feel safe. Can you please just split rent? Yeah, I can. I don't know how to respond to the rest of this right now. I'm scared. It scared the shit out of me. I don't do good with paragraphs. That's understandable. I was worried. I scared you. I'm sorry. It's okay. I'll be fine. Okay, so you literally explained it. And then he's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I can. Yeah, no, she's just being a fucking asshole now.
To pay 1/3 of the rent. Not half rent. I offered Jack pay 1/3.
Okay. No, you did say half of the rent. You said split the rent. I saw that.
My apartment rent-free. The first few months we lived together, I was paying the rent in full, and I had to fucking...
Okay, it says, can you please just split rent? Yeah, no, that's not third of it. Fucking asshole. Fucking liar.
Plead with you to pay 1/3 of the rent. Not half rent. I offered Jack pay 1/3 of the rent because his benefits paid him half of what I get paid. I had to fucking drag it out.
Okay, that's kinda not his fault, though. That's his benefits. Oh my god, bro.
Out of you, and you whined about it. You haven't paid rent for the past few months because your benefits were revoked. I cook, I clean the apartment, I do the dishes, I do the laundry. You sometimes clean the litter boxes when I ask you to. I drive you to your appointments. I pay for your medicine. I take you on car rides when you're sad. I buy you ice cream every week. I have to fucking bribe you with ice cream so you'll get out of bed and go to Social Security.
I have to bribe you with ice cream. That's crazy. Oh god. Yeah, again, I'm not really sure on how much this is true. I don't see any evidence of this right now, so I can't concretely say on if I believe her or Jack on this bit.
To try to get your benefits back. I was taking care of you. And it's fucking wild that you have the audacity to paint me as a monster and call me a pedophile when you should know that isn't fucking true.
I don't remember him ever calling Synni a pedophile. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't ever remember him saying that.
True. I've always been by your side, as long as you were willing to get better. I stood by your side when the internet still hated you and thought you were a groomer. I stood by you when you drew over the Borderline 12 shooting memorial. I am heartbroken that you threw away our friendship as soon as it wasn't easy being my friend, when I have done everything for you. You are a fucking coward. Not only would I call you a moocher, you're also a thief. You stole my jewelry, the fake nails that our mutual bought for me, and you took our fucking cat when you don't have stable housing. I genuinely believe you should bring Squirt back to my apartment because you cannot take care of her on your own. You can't even take care of yourself. This isn't me being malicious and trying to take your cat from you because I'm upset with you. I don't think you can take care of her. And if you try to make the argument that I forgot to feed her a couple times when I left for work, I knew that they would be okay if I didn't feed them as soon as I got up because you were always home.
I don't think he's never made that claim, ever.
Work all day while you sit on your ass at home and draw. You also begged me to get these cats. You should be willing to contribute to taking care of them by feeding them and cleaning up after them. Especially when you're always home. Jack brings up my obsession with Boy. Let's talk about Boy.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird.
Something that keeps getting brought up is the fact that I'm simping over a minor's character. Okay, who fucking cares? The character...
a lot of people.
...is an adult. That is what matters. Sock is uncomfortable with how I'm using Boy. They block...
Exactly. Maybe you should have fucking stopped. What if Sock said you are uncomfortable with how you were doing shit with their OC, maybe that should be a clear indication to fucking stop.
I don't care. I think I've made it very clear in the leaked DMs that I think Sock is way too sensitive when it comes to their characters.
Oh my fucking god, it's their character. It's not yours. If you want a character to do that shit with, make your fucking own. You're an artist. Do it your fucking self.
I think it's insanely stupid to post your characters online and then get upset when people get invested in your work. Not allowing people to ship your characters, ship themselves with your characters, make headcanons for your characters.
Okay, but also, this is a... This isn't a TV show. This isn't mainstream. This is a small artist artwork. This is a lot different to fucking big TV shows and shit.
Characters when you're posting them to the internet where everyone can see them is fucking ridiculous. Just try and control the internet. You will fail. I am tired of acting like she has any say over my creative freedom and self-expression. She blocked me so she doesn't have to see my art. That should be good enough for her. The only people hurting her are the ones who go out of their way to show her the things that I've drawn. Watch me continue to have beef with Sock.clip. Before I get into my biggest concern, here's some smaller critiques that Jack had about me. He had an issue with me talking about sex AIs in my 13+ server. This is actually something I believe was a problem.
Exactly! Because this minor's in there! Oh my god, bro, this is nuts.
I shouldn't have talked about it in my server. That was irresponsible.
No shit.
And you know what? Someone did actually DM me saying that I shouldn't have been doing that, and I agreed with them, and didn't do it again. I believe I contemplated making, like, a public apology within the server, but my mods told me not to. I don't have any evidence of this because the server was deleted and I didn't know how to export the files. So take what I say with a poke in the ass. Boop. Jack.
Oh my fucking god. Did she seriously just make that joke? Did she seriously just say that? That's not okay. She's not taking this seriously at all. That was fucking disgusting.
Says it would have been better if my server was 16 plus, and I will be honest,
Yes.
I don't know about that. You'd prefer if I was talking to 16-year-olds about which bots I can fuck?
Because, oh god, I don't think you should be talking about that in a server full of people that are your fans. That's just weird. I reckon it should have been 16 plus, because, this is ridiculous.
See, Jack is under the impression that 16 plus is an appropriate label for sexual content, and I was under that impression too for the longest time. I think it's because the animation art community often use 16 plus on sexual or suggestive content.
Yeah, the animation, meme community, that is a huge part of it. 16 plus or 18 plus, again, some people just don't really follow that. But a lot of it is, yes, that.
And that's the community we grew up with. Realistically, it's still weird. Why even take a chance with the age stuff, honestly? If I ever make another Discord server, it is going to be 18 plus with precautions to prove your age. This shit is annoying.
That's honestly probably the best idea, to make it 18 plus, just in case.
That I was sexting an AI bot while he was laying on top of me. I wasn't, touching myself or anything, but to be honest...
Does that fucking matter? On if you were touching yourself or not? You were still fucking... Oh my god. You were still fucking chatting with... sexting with a bot while laying on him. That's fucking weird.
Why this would upset him. I'm not gonna act like Jack was being irrational by getting upset that I was sexting an AI bot when he's trying to spend time with me. I do find it weird that he's upset that I would hide my DMs from him. He pushed to see my DMs at some points and I didn't want to show it to him. He admits that he knows I talk sexually with a lot of my friends, so I don't know why he didn't just drop it. Especially when he's hidden his DMs from me when he was talking to his partner, or even to Laurel. It's a strange thing to complain about.
I don't feel safe here anymore after learning what happened.
I completely understand if my actions have made Jack trust me less, and he doesn't...
Then why are you criticizing him? This whole thing has just been completely criticizing him. Oh my god, dude.
...want to support me. I'm annoyed because I did that for him, but I'm not entitled to his presence in my life. I think it's odd that Jack insists that he's in danger to some extent by staying with me. Do you think I'm gonna get you? Do you think I'm gonna hurt you? Genuinely, how are you in danger by staying with me?
Again, he's been through very severe abuse, and you did touch him without his consent. Oh. And you made a sexual assault comic on him. Of course he's not gonna want to fucking live there. Of course he's gonna feel unsafe.
I've established how what I did wasn't sexual assault. You don't get to revoke your consent. It really feels like he's making the situation about himself. Literally nothing he's done has been in the interest of protecting...
Okay, no, that's a fucking lie. The fact that he let fucking Enno in that video talk about their experience, that's just... Also, the fact is, Enno is a child. They do have a place to live. You know what I mean? They don't need housing like Jack does. They don't need to buy food like Jack does. This is a whole lot different.
And a lot of his behavior has actually put Enno in danger. Not only does he and Sophia not censor Enno's name in their videos like I was trying to do in mine, Jack included...
Does that fucking matter, dude? It's just a name.
Enno in a section in his video, and he leaves in her Discord tag, so any random motherfucker can contact them.
Yeah, and then she closed that tag. And she put that in the recording for a reason. So, I don't know what you're trying to get at here. Oh my god, bro.
Anyone. If that's not bad enough, the document that shares our DMs, the one that Jack made Enno make for his video to come out, it doesn't just expose my kinks and fetishes. You're exposing that Enno likes this shit too, because Enno can be seen responding positively to a lot of this. People can...
Okay, and you still very much encourage them to possibly respond like that. You are the adult in this situation. You decided to talk sexually with them. Oh my god, she is just constantly blaming Jack and not even thinking critically about her own actions. She's literally admitted in this video she's fucked up. She's given us more evidence of her fucking up, and she goes and fucking does this.
Use this information to prey on Enno. Enno would have been kept safer if this entire situation was handled privately. Jack. Not only that, but Jack has caused people to attempt to contact Enno's parents, which freaked them the fuck out. None of this is being handled responsibly.
Okay, Jack did say I'm pretty sure from memory, Jack said to not contact Enno's parents.
Doing is helping
that's not necessarily Jack's fault.
The victim. I don't think he even really cares, if I'm being completely honest.
He does.
The way Jack has been treating me makes no sense to me, and I want to talk about it. He was insisting that this needed to be public, and he needed to have the first word. I made my apology video faster than he did, and he begged me to wait until his was done uploading, because according to him, people would attack him because they'd automatically assume he's on my side. So I waited for him to finish the video before I could upload mine. I was extremely emotional at this point in time. I was crying all day, and I felt so sick that I had to take the day off work. I overheard him recording for his video, and I heard some of the things he said, and I went into a blind rage. That's when I sent him this text. I was furious. And yet later on, I went back to apologize because Enno told me I shouldn't send stuff like that to Jack because it was only driving him further away.
Yeah, it's true,
I assume he was in a GC with Soph and Enno, and he must have sent them the text that I sent. Later that night, I came into his room and tried to reason with him and get him to stay with me, but he wasn't having it. I told him that I would do anything if he would stay, whether that be giving him my passwords or letting him look over my DMs with Enno, but he didn't want anything from me. I would have given anything to prove that I was willing to get better for him, and he made it clear that he needed to leave. I asked how long it would be until he left, and he didn't. I asked if I could just be with him and cuddle with him because I couldn't stand being alone. He said yes. I laid next to him and I held him, sobbing while he worked on the animation loop for his video. I watched him draw it. I remember asking why he was putting so much effort into an animation loop for a video that he insisted needed to be out as quickly as possible. I don't remember what his response was. That night, I took him to get Panera, and the whole time, he was acting so normal. It was like nothing was wrong. I remember while we were waiting for our food, I broke down crying again, and Jack told me, "If it bothers you that I'm acting normal, I'm just really good at masking." He got a Red Bull.
I mean, yeah, I don't really... I mean... Yeah, thing with BPD, because he does have that. I, have BPD and know about this. He probably has internalized BPD, where he still feels the emotions, but finds it hard to express it. And also, that's also a part of autism as well.
Got food too, but my stomach was in knots and I couldn't eat anything. We watched Rick and Morty while we ate, and I remember asking if we could try finishing Rick and Morty before he left, and he said that sounded like a good idea. I laid in bed with him, and he showed me funny videos, but I just kept crying. I remember very vividly how Jack was just pissing himself laughing, watching this guy eat a salad. Meanwhile, I was laying on top of him and sobbing. I asked if I could spend the night with him, and he said he wasn't sure if he could, but maybe tomorrow. I was upset, but I knew he needed space from me. I slept on the couch, I went to work, and when I came back, he was gone. He packed his shit and he left. I was so scared because I didn't know where he could have gone. I didn't know if he was safe or if he was on the street. I thought I had more time with him. I didn't even get a chance to say goodbye or hug him one last time.
This is kind of sad, though, I will be honest. I reckon Jack should have, probably talked to Synni about this, in my opinion, as I can't even imagine how just coming home to him being gone. I mean, that would be a little bit freaky and scary. I'm not going to say that it isn't, and I'm not defending her in any way, and I think it's great that Jack did leave, but I reckon they definitely should have discussed it, and she at least got to say goodbye to him.
I was heartbroken, and I was scared for his safety. He wouldn't answer my phone, and Laurel had blocked me. My IRL friends didn't know where he was. And so I had to call Enno. Enno stayed on the phone with me to keep me company that night.
Yes, Enno did talk about this. Enno did say that Synni was crying on the phone to them.
Apologized profusely because Enno felt like it was their fault, and it wasn't. Through Enno, I was able to confirm that Jack wasn't safe, but he was alive, and he didn't plan on coming back. I relayed to him that if he needed anything, I would be there for him. If he was in danger, I would help him. It may sound upsetting that I had to call Enno of all people, but I had no one else to talk to. I had nowhere else to go. The next morning, I woke up to really loud knocking on my door. The police showed up to my apartment to check on me.
Oh shit, the fucking police? This is crazy.
It was a wellness check. They said my real-life friend called them, but later I asked that friend and she didn't know what I was talking about. I saw Jack tried to call me multiple times, and I texted him back saying I'm sorry and I was asleep. And also the police came by, and he said, "We thought you died, lol." He didn't say anything after that. That was the last time he ever messaged me. I thought this was a good sign, honestly. I thought this meant that even though he was upset with me, he still cared enough to make sure I'm alive.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure he still does. No doy.
He cared enough to call the police for a wellness check. I went to work that day, and late into my shift, I saw that he made a Twitter thread. He openly bragged about stealing my friends from me, and he told me to live and suffer, and he called me a pedophile. And he took a picture of...
I mean, I reckon he still will care about your life, because, I don't think he wants you dead. He's never expressed that. He's expressing he's still very upset about what happened, and he has every right to be, but he's never expressed that he wants you to pass away.
The hat he left on my pillow before he left. The idea that he still cared about me was snuffed out almost instantly. I didn't know what to think of him anymore. I didn't know what he was capable of. I didn't know what he was willing to do. So I went into a delusional, paranoid state. I had to leave work early, but I couldn't go home. I was convinced that if I went home, then someone would be at my apartment and they would kill me. I thought Jack sent someone to my apartment and they would kill me as soon as I opened the door.
I really don't think he would, I understand, anxiety disorders definitely do this. They cause fear and panic, but this is very unlikely.
I bought 3 things. I got pepper spray, a pocket knife, and a crowbar to protect myself, because I was scared for my life. That real-life friend I mentioned earlier, I called them, and I told them I couldn't go home. I asked if I could stay at their place for the night, and they said I couldn't. I feel bad because I screamed at them over the phone when they tried to assure me that I wasn't actually in danger. They were just trying to help me out of my delusion, and I screamed at them for it. We set up a plan where I parked in a different town. They drove to me, and they took my spare key, and then they went to my apartment to check all the rooms, and they told me it was safe to come. They left before I came home, and when I came, I held my pepper spray in my hand, and I checked all the rooms myself. And when I saw my cat, I just started crying. Stupid doesn't understand what's going on. I don't feel safe in my own home anymore. I'm feeling better ever since this happened, but fuck, man. I keep seeing the things that Jack posts on Twitter, and it just makes me feel sick. It makes me angry.
Maybe you should stop following him and stop looking at his fucking Twitter, because that's just gonna make it worse.
The fact that I thought he cared about me. I thought he loved me. And he says this awful shit publicly. Fucking victory lapping around me. Encouraging people to make hateful art about me. Talking about stealing my intellectual properties for himself to use. Knowing that I can't say anything about it. Because the internet fucking hates me. Trying to silence me once he found out that I was making my video. I can't help but think that he wanted me to kill myself. I love him so much, but I can't help it.
No, if he called the police to check if you're okay, I don't believe he actually wants you to kill yourself.
I feel like I was used. I did everything for him. I loved him, and I thought he loved me. And I feel like he wanted me to kill myself. He's taken everything from me, and he's laughing at me. He's mocking me when I thought he loved me. I don't know where he is right now. I don't know if he's safe. I don't know what's happening to him. He said he was going to make a second video talking about me, but he had to stop because of something dangerous happening, and I don't know what he was referring to. I fucking feel sick because I still care about him. I genuinely hope he is safe. I still love him. Even after seeing all this, I still love him. I don't know why he's acting like this. I know he has borderline personality disorder, so I really hope that this is just him splitting on me, and maybe...
It very much could be, again, a part of BPD, since I do have this disorder, a part of it is splitting on, especially people that are very close to you, you will do these actions. And, who's to say that he won't go back to Synni? And that's completely his decision. He is also a victim in this situation, along with Enno.
Later down the line, he'll come to his senses and realize that I'm not the monster he's saying I am. That could just be hopeful thinking, but I do know that borderline personality disorder causes you to think in black and white. He thought
it definitely does, and so does autism as well. So having autism and borderline makes it a lot worse.
Was the most amazing person ever, and now he thinks I'm the worst. I hope it changes. I want my friend back.
Conclusion.
I think it'd be ridiculous to come out of this situation still thinking it'd be a good idea to put myself in spaces that are mostly occupied by children. I can see that I have a huge issue filtering myself in these spaces, and I have theories as to why that is. I grew up in a community where adults and children made sexual content that was mostly consumed by children. I've always had friends who I was sexual with ever since I was in elementary school, so I've gotten used to having relationships where I share intimate details with them. I've talked sexually with my fans when I myself was a minor still, and I think my brain never recognized that as an issue, nor did I recognize that my collective audience wasn't growing up at the same rate as I was. When I was a child, my audience was around my age. Now I'm 21 and my audience has grown too, but it's still mostly children. And I think I have trouble comprehending that when I speak in public spaces. These reasons and theories do not excuse what I've done. I think the best solution would just be to put myself in spaces with other adults and not let this become a problem again. I gotta stop talking to people under 18, whether I think they're funny and fun to talk to or not.
Exactly.
I'm still going to at least take a break from my social media. I don't think it'd be good for me to immediately come back. It doesn't feel right. I don't expect my video to change everyone's mind and make people think I'm a good person.
No, because I don't.
Think I'm a good person, but I'm not a...
No, because I don't think she is. I think she's really, really fucked up. She should not be in kids' spaces anymore. Definitely.
Predator. And to be as clear as humanly possible, all these changes that I'm making are for me. Not for Jack. Not for you. I want to make an effort to be better, but I don't owe you shit. My name is Synnibear03's. Baka baka.
That was, quite an interesting video. Some of this I agree with her on. Some of it I don't. I still think that she has done some very, very terrible things, and she's not gonna come back from this. And there's gonna be a part 2, which I'm kind of scared to see, but hope you all enjoyed my commentary on this. This was, again, quite an interesting video to look at. This was a terrible response. Alright, see ya.